Pauline, how long have you been here?
I've been living here 21 years, and Dundrum community is the most welcoming community you could ever come to. And I mean, if you look around here, it's so scenic. It's absolutely beautiful. I came from a concrete jungle and I moved to this beautiful place. And we're just sad that what maybe might happen to it. We want to save our hotel. We haven't got the amenities for a lot of people coming in. The situation we have here is our local doctor is full. We don't have, the industry. We don't have health care. We don't have spaces in the schools. There's a lot of things we don't have here for a lot of people, but at the same time we welcome everybody here. It's not about that. We're trying to save our hotel. We're trying to save, that's the only thing we have. We've nothing else in the village for entertainment, for social. We have, if they take the hotel, they're taking everything.
The main issue, to be honest with you, is it turning into a permanent situation. When this hotel changed hands a number of years ago, there were great plans fanfared on local media about how the hotel was going to be renovated. The manor house in there is over 300 years old. It's a protected building. And there was talk of renovating that, upgrading a golf course, which is already magnificent. It's a Philip Walton designed golf course. Upgrading everything, the leisure centre, the pool, and everyone was very excited about that. There was talk about maybe putting in a distillery. But then, of course, the world changed. We had COVID, and then the situation in Ukraine arose. The issue now is that we're hoping that with the money that was paid to accommodate Ukrainians, that it would allow for those development plans that were fanfared. But now, unfortunately, it appears that all plans have been set to one side and that the premise is in danger of turning into I'm not sure if we're allowed to say permanent, because who knows, but certainly into a rolling contract situation where IPAs will be housed there with no end in sight.
Ukrainian was never going to be long term. This thing is a contract that may never end. Where is it going to finish? We don't see any end in sight. Once it comes in, how will it leave? There's such a demand for these kind of centres in the country at the minute. There'll be just no end in sight. We don't have the long-term resources here,
The hotel itself, however, the main hotel, the Manor House, hasn't been functioning as a hotel since 2015.
Yes.
And you say, yet it's integral to the village. I drove through the village a little earlier, and notwithstanding the fact that the hotel hasn't been functioning, there is still a shop, there's a barber's, there's a hairdresser's, there's a butcher's, there's a pharmacy, they've all survived, notwithstanding the fact that the hotel hasn't been functioning.
Yes, but previously, the spin-off that hotel was absolutely unbelievable. We had 2 or 3 weddings a week. They all used to go to the village, spend money on this and that, whether it's shampoo or a pint or whatever they wanted. They got everything in the village. That spin-off is seriously missed in the village now, and we just want that back, I don't see an IPA centre benefiting the local economy, to be honest. The people in the IPA centre are on 36 or 7 euros a week. I can't see how they can contribute to the local economy, really, to be honest. They need that for very basic needs,
For us, it's not about who's coming into the hotel. It's about the loss of the facility itself. It's a huge loss to the village. There was a time when people came to Dundrum on their holidays. They came and they stayed in the hotel or the chalets. They came on golf trips. But it's now turning into a place that, instead of being a destination, it's a place where people are just driving through on their way to somewhere else.
I suppose there'll be people tonight watching, Fiona, will say, this is a community that welcomed Ukrainians. You said there was a reception to the village. They have integrated well. They are working here, their children are at school. In fact, they have joined you on this protest, and people seem to want them to remain in the village. And there's a completely different attitude to IPAS. There seems to be a fear around IPAS coming into the village.
Well, I suppose it's twofold. Again, I keep coming back to the point, and sorry for repeating myself, but the fear actually is the permanent loss of the hotel. We feel very strongly that if this is allowed to become an IPAS centre, we will never get our hotel back. But there is, and we can't ignore the issue, that we hear an awful lot of talk about the arrival of maybe, the numbers of arrivals of single men vastly outnumbers the arrival of single women. And those figures are available for anyone on the IPAS website, the government IPAS website. So, and again, it's the absence of information. People are fearful. Now, we are being told, or there's talk about it will only be women and children and families. But again, they were told that in Roscrea, and that turned out to not be the case.
But what is the fear, I suppose, if it is males, IPAS males coming in here? What is that fear? I'm trying to really understand that. If it was women and children, IPAS people wouldn't be so fearful, it appears.
Well, people would still be very much against what's happening because, again, it's about the loss of the hotel for us. But what are people afraid of? Look at, I suppose, if there is a huge influx of people into the village, there's a population in the last census of 221 people. And if they're talking about bringing in 280 people, be they IPAs or from anywhere else, that's an issue because it's doubling the population of the village and it's just going to permanently change the fabric of the village. And there are people who are fearful of strangers, large numbers of strangers being in our midst and people having no information about them.
I suppose I can't help but notice the sign here behind us, protect our kids, protect our children.
Yeah.
That suggests that if IPAS came in here, they would pose a threat to the children.
Well, again, we're back to we don't know. We don't know. And if you have a situation...
What do you not know?
We don't know who may or may not be coming to live in our area. And, if there are large numbers, for instance, of undocumented individuals, be they male or female, we don't know who's living among us, and at the moment, you can see we're at a crossroads. It's a tiny rural area. Everybody knows everybody, So if somebody is out and, they're kind of meeting up with their friends or whatever it is that they're doing, everybody knows everybody here. But if there is a huge influx of people that we don't know, then people are fearful, and it is naive to feel that they wouldn't be. And what's also really bothersome is that for people to start calling us particular names, we're allowed to be fearful about our community in a situation where there might be a large influx of people that we don't know anything about. And
by names, do you mean being called racist?
Yeah.
As a local business, you've taken a further step, haven't you? You're going to withhold your rates.
Yes, yeah, sure. We see it as a big thing, like it's a big handle we have in things really going forward, and it's one of the biggest levers we can pull. So we've decided to withhold our rates going forward and see where that takes us. We see it as a big tool we can utilise going forward. So hopefully.
So you're willing to break the law then?
Well, yeah. What other option have we? Nobody's listening. They came to a council meeting, Department of Integration. They did not listen. They took nothing we had to say into account, and they went away and they literally told us this was going to happen and that was it. What more can we do? We have nothing left else to do here,